are probably a number of reasons why I got into estate planning, but as I think about the reasons for what I do, the reasons for my why, one of the things that I kept coming back to is some of my childhood experiences. I grew up in Ukraine, where it was former Soviet Union, and I was raised by a single mother. And there are a couple of things that just jump at me as far as my motivating factors. And I had this one vivid memory. When I was about 9 years old, it was the winter time, and my mom and I, we just came home. She picked me up from school. It was really cold outside. We walked into the kitchen, and we weren't poor, we were doing okay. My mother was a teacher, but we also didn't have a lot. And this was a time where she didn't collect a paycheck for about 5 months. It was kind of a period when things like that happened. And we just didn't have a lot. And I remember going to the fridge, opening the fridge, and there was just not much in it. And there was just enough to make rice and hot dogs, and there was ketchup. And that was the whole fridge. And that's what we had that night. And we made hot dogs and rice, and I used the ketchup to mix it all up together, cut up the hot dogs into the rice. And that was dinner that night. And that's not that bad. Most kids like hot dogs. But I didn't enjoy that meal. And I didn't enjoy it because of that sense of inevitability. And as I was leaning against the cold cement wall of our kitchen and eating that dinner, I really felt not safe, not secure, and I really wondered about, where's our dinner going to come from tomorrow? And that feeling of insecurity and instability, that stayed with me. And as I think about my law practice, and as I think about what I do today, the only thing that really I want to do for my clients is to make sure that nobody in their family ever has to be that kid, that 9-year-old kid leaning against the cold wall of their kitchen, wondering when their next meal is going to come from. And there are other things, in my life later on that kind of added to that. When my grandmother got diagnosed with MS, there was no equivalent of Medicaid, there were no government benefits, and so my mother had to pay out of pocket for all those things. When my grandfather had immigrated to Israel, there was not a clear way for him to transfer ownership of his apartment to myself or my mother. And so what it resulted in is my mother paying for everything herself. And so what I took from all of that is that the only thing that I really want to give to my clients is the financial security, financial stability, predictability in their lives, to keep as much of their family wealth as possible, so that they don't ever have to go to that cold place where they have to wonder when the next meal is going to come from. That's about it.